Well, hello everyone and welcome. My name is Amy Krymkowski and I am here with Lindsay Schmit. Both Lindsay and I are members of the Coaches Culmination of Wisconsin. In the spirit of the spooky season of Halloween, we are here to expose some of the monsters that may be lurking around in the shadows of your business, your career, or your life, and causing havoc by limiting your potential and success. We are here to connect with you, share a few gems and some tips that we believe can help you conquer these monsters and master them. So, Lindsay, welcome. It's really good to be here with you today.
Great. Thanks, Amy. You too. And I love your background. It really gets us all in the spirit here. So did you want me to start with a brief introduction?
Yeah, I was going to say, if you would just take a moment, maybe you could introduce yourself.
Perfect.
Before I jump into some of the questions for our mini interview.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Amy. I am Lindsay Schmit, founder of Right Hand Consultants. I'm a strategic business coach and consultant, and my business focuses on strategic business coaching, which means I help individuals, mostly service-based professionals, small business owners, and organizational leaders create, plan, and prioritize their vision by partnering with them to work on their business so they can work more effectively and efficiently in their business. So that's a little bit of my business right there for you.
All right, so you really help individuals who are running a business, owning a business. It sounds like your target market are entrepreneurs and business owners. Awesome. So let's start off with the first question. What monster do you help others master, and why is it an important monster to master?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the monster we will focus on today that I help others master is the task zombie. So in the spirit of this discussion, let's call it zombie mentality. So what do I mean by this? Let's think about a zombie for a minute. Zombies operate in survival mode and focus on only one thing, the one thing they can see directly in front of them. So there's a lot of cartoons and it's usually brains, right, that they're focused on. But the translation here is they're very short-term focused. Once they get to that thing in front of them and accomplish it, they're on to the next thing and then the next thing and so on. They don't have a plan for what's next, and they haven't stopped to prioritize or map out a plan. Basically, their environment dictates their next steps instead of them taking the time to plan out and build those next steps, right? So that's the mentality, task by task by task. So why is that an important a monster to master? Why should individuals master this particular monster?
Right.
Well, mastering the task zombie is important because as business owners, entrepreneurs, service-based professionals, it's easy to get stuck in the immediate or daily tasks that present themselves. And sometimes that's okay, right? To get stuff done. The problem becomes when the task takes over and prevents you from connecting that task to a bigger plan or the roadmap to your vision. And this requires sometimes taking a step back to think and strategize, something zombies can't do. They just don't think, they just do. So it's about the long-term picture, not just the tasks in front of you.
Oh, that's such a great distinction of this, as you said, the zombie mentality. I think a struggle as an entrepreneur and as a business owner is also the fact that we can have every best intention to have a list of tasks that we want to get through on the day, and then some new unexpected surprise or situation happens, and so we sort of lose sight of even maybe what we're working on or what we hope to accomplish that day because that thing, gets in. So zombie mentality, we got to crush it.
Sure.
not crush it like yay, but crush it like wipe it out.
Right.
So how do you help others master this monster? Tell us about how you do that.
Yeah. So I help individuals master this monster, get out of this zombie mentality by helping them carve out time to work on their business. My coaching calls become that time away from those short-term tasks and into long-term vision development and planning. So more that strategic thinking. And my coaching process is really a two-phased approach. Phase one, and I'll get into a little more detail, but it's about establishing the framework and foundational elements so that I'm understanding the business. Some key pieces are in place, and I'll talk about those in just a second. And then the second phase is really the coaching relationship, which is working toward implementation of the plan that we're developing. So for most, this is a blend of accountability, pausing to ask key questions, and support. So it's less task-based, again, more strategic. So let me share briefly about that first phase that I mentioned, really building the foundational elements of their business or practice. So when I work with clients, the first thing we do is work on the following key pieces of long-term planning. The first is a vision. So there's really 4 parts. First is the vision, and that's usually 5 to 10 years out. That articulates where you're going. Where do you want to be 5 to 10 years from now? Then we work on the mission. And that's all about why you do what you do. Why is your vision important? Why does your business exist? Then we talk about core values, and core values are those values that guide or drive your business or your decision-making around your business. Then the last piece is really developing an annual plan. So that's annual goal setting. We develop clear annual goals that align to the vision. So a question to ask yourself might be, what's important to focus on this year to get me closer to my vision? Then the fun part comes in with developing cascading strategies and quarterly action plans for success. So we're building from the vision, an annual plan, and then quarterly strategies and action plans for achievement. Then we break that down into those smaller pieces. So that's really phase one. Then I talked about phase two a little bit, or that second part, and that's really the coaching relationship with my clients. That starts to revolve around accountability and implementation of that plan that we've developed. So I meet with my clients twice a month. And for some clients, this comes in the form of setting their environment up for success. For others, it's building reports and tracking tools and really keeping an eye on those key metrics. But for all my clients, it involves a pause, taking time to really ask key questions, help them evaluate what's working, what's not working, what wins have they had, what challenges are they presented with. And for many, it's building efficiencies, delegating where it's appropriate, and developing the skills they need to achieve their goals. So that's really that two-phase approach in my coaching process that helps others really master that task zombie.
Yeah, well, I like that. It sounds like there's this very holistic picture of creating that important structure. First, the beginning, the foundation and the structure around the how and what's important and the sort of inner workings of the business, but then being able to support it by creating the accountability and the tools or the design, the framework that's going to help that entrepreneur in their business to stay on track and hopefully, it sounds like, be really ready to meet their goals. That's great.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it's really comprehensive. And as I think about, as I was listening, I'm like, oh, I might need to hire Lindsay for my own business. So let me ask you, what is the impact for your clients who master this monster, or maybe what happens if they don't?
Sure. That's a great question, right? What if they don't? What happens? What are those impacts? So let's start with the impact or the dangers of not mastering this monster. And then I'll talk a little bit about the benefits of mastering. But the impact is really time and opportunity, right? It's so easy, as I mentioned, to get lost in the day-to-day tasks. And it becomes so that you can't see where your business is going. So spending all your time working in the business, task by task by task, and little time working on the business, it can be very costly in the long run. So let's talk a little bit about, so I talked about time, right? Allocating time to work on your business versus in. So that can present missed opportunities. So I mentioned time and opportunity being some of the implications. So some opportunities that might be missed might be growth, right? Plateauing or lack of growth. And that could be from a revenue standpoint, developing yourself personally, professionally, and those skills that you need, and missed opportunities that come along the way. Another opportunity might be relevancy with clients or customers, losing sight of the customer experience and your clients' changing needs. And lastly, inefficiencies, right? Opportunity to create efficiencies within your business versus doing the same thing the same way all the time. But there may be opportunities to invest in systems and processes that can really help down the road. So impact of mastering this monster, right, is having a clear vision and the foresight to continue to grow. It allows you to anticipate changes or pivots that your business needs to make, or investments and opportunities to capitalize on what's out there to take your business to the next level.
Yeah, that's great. I think I was, as you were talking about the missed opportunities, I immediately thought how if you don't have a great plan in place and something comes across, your desk, as we used to say, maybe now we say our email or inbox.
Sure.
I have that happen in my business where somebody might reach out and wants to partner or do something like that. And if I don't have a sense of, hey, does that opportunity align with my goals or with my vision? If I'm just sort of working on the fly, or I'm just trying to grow, I A, may miss it, or B, I might align myself with the wrong opportunity is what I'm thinking. So I can see where this is really valuable to help business owners to be really clear about what they want to say yes to and commit to, and maybe what they don't. So
right. And I think if you do have a plan and you've got action plans and quarterly strategies, when opportunity does present itself, it's evaluating that opportunity with the strategies you have in place. Does it support those strategies, or does it distract from those?
right.
And reprioritizing, if it fits, the pieces you already have in there. And maybe you lose something, right? You decide not to pursue something and replace this, but you see where it fits and you see the bigger picture along with it. So that's a great example, Amy. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. And one last thing is, I think this was something I was once told in a business development sort of coach program that I did when I was early as an entrepreneur. It's only been a few years, so it's not that long ago. But they talked a lot about, and I think what you were just articulating is how plans are really living, breathing documents. They sort of move along with us as we're growing in our business. So this idea of the quarterly planning, I love that. I do that, and I can see the value of breaking up how we see our business on a quarterly basis. So I love that piece being just sort of automatically built in. All right, we have one more question. What do you love most about witnessing others that master this monster? Clearly, we've been talking about some benefits, but what do you love most about that?
Yeah, I really love this question. Outside of answering energy and joy, right? I love just the emotions it all brings. But what I love about others, watching others or witness others master this monster, or when clients are having breakthroughs in their business, right? It's those moments in the coaching process that bring energy and joy to what you do, right? Sometimes it might be longer down the road. And when it finally comes, it's like, that's so exciting. This is what we've been working towards. But I guess a few examples, like a client recently shared with me, they had their best quarter ever since being in business, right? That happens often, but just blown away by, the numbers that they're seeing, the confidence that I see in my clients. I can see it, I can feel it. And they can feel it too. They're having confidence investing in their business because the results are there and it's becoming more predictable. So they have the confidence to do that. And I think the other piece is watching businesses grow, right? Growing, they're hiring staff, they're finding ways to scale because they're at capacity and they're looking to take it to the next level. So joy and energy, I just really get from watching my clients master this monster. There's a lot of M's in this conversation.
Yeah. And what I also love is, I think just as I was listening, is sort of shifting this zombie mentality to being better decision makers and empowered in their choices of how and what they want for their business, like what they're doing, what they're saying no to, what they're saying yes to. So really like waking them up so that there's this empowered relationship that they're having, as opposed to, as you said, the short-term focus that might not align with their long-term growth plan and desires. So
Yeah, that's a great term. The empowerment, and their thinking, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Shifting that zombie to an alive being that's, dedicated to seeing their success happen and
absolutely.
are conscious.
Right. Conscious decision, intentional. Right.
Yeah,
That's another
yeah.
great word to put in there.
Perfect. Well, I think those are the kind of the questions for our interview
Mhm.
today. It's been really great chatting with you today, Lindsay. And
Likewise, Amy, thank you for your time.
yeah, totally. And I'm excited to see how this is going to fit in with the series that the Coaches Culmination is doing right now. Our annual Master Your Monsters. Great to share this knowledge and your tips and gems with us today, Lindsay. And have a great day, everyone.
You too. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.